Se koma kenesa, kola e kola kama. Nase kona biki nese kona miko seko ma miko seko ma seko. Eseko nakari no mari koseno. Sakinani mina katuna. Kuna shikina shikali. Tona bikini. Biko meseno. Biko meseno. Paniko mina se lakali kundina ka. Sekona pikide sekola ki sinaka. Sokama se anasi and bikuna and na. Well, once again, this is Humam Abdulmalik with Blackanized Report, motivating and stimulating globally in the realization of our divine and spiritual contents of our ancestors in blackness of our African spirituality and our indigenous habitation here in so-called America. You know, this was called Turtle Island before it was called America. They said that we was the Americos Indians or whatever. And those are the people that came later after Columbus, because Columbus never got here. He never discovered America or anything. He didn't even get close to this. That's a fallacy and a lie that they keep teaching our children, generation after generation. And we must stop it. We must stop lying to our children and having those people that run the educational industrial complex to continue these lies generation after generation. And we know their lies and they know their lies, but they continue to perpetrate it. And I don't know why, to make themselves look good or better, but they're not. We had been here 500 years or centuries before they even thought about getting in the water, coming over the Atlantic. Even Marco Polo and all them that went up in China and all that know that we are the ones that did everything before everybody else. That's why when they look for themselves, they see us, no matter where they dig it up. And the Europeans are the ones mostly guilty of, they say, what's the word, anthropology, studies and all that, but they really grave robbers, trying to see where they come from. And they don't come from anywhere that they can put their hands on, because every time they dig up something, guess who is there? We are. So it's how's everybody's day? This is a great Tuesday. It's kind of chilly like yesterday, man. Man, I'm glad I went to a funeral yesterday. It was one of the great brothers in DC. I mean, from over in Kenilworth and all, work with Yvette Alexander, the police department over there. He was from Ward 7, but he was a great, I say, entity in the growth and development of people of Black fortitude, standing up for what's right, and his attitude and his disposition. Sometimes, they be like, what can you say? Some people say whatever they say, but I was at the funeral yesterday. It was at a Dynamic Center, the big Turkish masjid. Not only that, they had the police chief there, the mayor sent people, Gray sent people, and then his pathway to the ground that they put him underneath, man, he had a motorcycle and car escort on the highway. It was great. He had a dignitary going away, a guy that came from the streets of Kenilworth and rose up to be worth the integrity that he claimed. Dealing with dealt with boxing in the community. He dealt with like all type of tutelage to the youth in the community. He's a great man in my estimation. I didn't know him well, but my partner, Imam Ali, he knew him well. They grew up together. So, I was like, I used to watch him from a distance, doing what he do when we was at meetings or something like that. He, speak to me and I speak to him because we had respect. Once you respect yourself, everybody else will respect you. So that's all what it's about. It's about self-respect, to gain respect, to give respect. So this brother, he has gained my respect, and is he an ancestor now? Uh, Great man though, And Imam Ali had growed up with him, so he had a first-hand report, on their activity and stuff like that. So with that being said, in the words of Ali, I got to say that the brother was one of the warriors, a strong warrior. No matter what his activity was in the government system and all that, but he did what he had to do. And as a black man, as a Muslim, so I want to tip my hat and my accolades to him as a great black man in the Islamic frame of reference. Man, live on, man, as our ancestor. Live on. Uh, Other than that, well, it was just a chilly day yesterday. Uh, Messing with Ali, we just did that. Then I supposed to met up with my brother Ricky, but he didn't get back with me. So I don't hope he don't hold that against me. Because I told him I was coming back from the funeral, stuff like that. But I ain't getting no call back. He wanted me to, just ride with him. I told him, come on, man, let's ride. Oh, I see some brothers and sisters up on here early in the morning. Uh, Glad to see y'all, being partaking of this Blackanized report. Because we, people with the status of that y'all have, we got to come together in unification. Like what his name, Nipsey Hussle, how he tried to establish unity in his community. Same thing we got to do in D.C. There was Chocolate City before it came chocolate chip. Now it's going towards vanilla wafers. We have to take a stand, just like the stand we took for the go-go, the sound of the go-go. We got to take a stand against gentrification. We got to do that, even though it's from a 30 or 50-year plan. We can't stand by and do nothing. We have to develop a counter move to everything that they do. Because if we don't, it'll be like Georgetown or Uptown or Northeast. And they're trying to make this what they say, the Georgetown, Anacostia, the Georgetown of Southeast, of Ward 8 or whatever. But what they thinking about the people that live here. Don't care nothing about us, man. Not at all, not at all. It is like they talk about affordable living. Yeah, I hear you. How you gonna have affordable living or affordable housing? First and foremost, that's what they say, affordable housing. How you gonna have affordable housing if you can't have affordable living because you don't have affordable wages? And this is what we're up against as a people. And that's why we got to unify and counter their move. And the way I see it, our counter move would be communal living, coming together like the Spanish and the Africans and how they do it. They be in their house, and about be 15 or 20 of them, but all of them be at ease. They pay the bills, they bring, share for the food bill and all that. And that's strong. See, if we can get out of having a competitive mentality and have a cooperative mentality like we're supposed to, that is deeply rooted in our temple and our spirituality and our divine essence as the original people upon the planet Earth. And this is what we got to do. It's like playing chess. You got to counter every move that your adversary make. And they making moves that come from a long time ago. It's like 10, 15, 20-year, 30-year plans. This gentrification, that's all it is. It's part of the 50-year plans, 30-year plans, you know, stuff that they had in effect, and they just implementing it. And they got all the millennials and all that people coming from Iowa, Nebraska, and all that coming here teaching our children and don't know nothing about the first thing of community, neighborhood type uh, interaction. How can you interact with somebody you really scared of? You don't have no inkling of knowledge of how to be uh, in uh, in a unified motive to uplift the people that you come here to teach. When you're going by a curriculum that is not about the upliftment of our people of African descent or Black descent, if you want to say Black, because Black is from the Black land. If it's from Sudan or Kemet, ancient Kemet, or is it from Turtle Island here? But they didn't call this the Black land. They called those two spots over there the Black land, but it is us now interconnection of each other, you know, being related by a spiritual base and a divine base. And that's how we come together in unification because of who we are in the melanin nation and by Ma'at, the principles of Ma'at, and also the principles of matriarchic principles that everything is supposed to be on. But then the patriotic troglodyte Neanderthal came in and manipulated everything, and somehow the other through there, after stealing our magic and stealing our occult sciences, they turned it against us, and we fell from where we were, and they told lies about our woman and said that they are the ones that committed the first sin. Well, you know that story about Adam and Eve, but don't believe that because it wasn't like that. They plagiarized this whole story to tear down our sisters' glory. We must pick up our sisters again and say that it was about Shitat giving a fruit of knowledge and fruit of wisdom to the Pharaoh at the time. But they went on the walls where the truth is etched in stone and they plagiarized stuff and turned it around. And every story that you read or anything like that, don't believe it because they stole it from us. I'm telling you. If you think I'm uh, uh, talking in fallacies or whatever, all you got to do is research and study for yourself. People I tell you to study, I would say Oswald Kwesi, Anthony Broder. You can even go to like Reverend Wilson. You can go to Jeremiah Wright. It's two books that I will definitely say will be your delight. One of them is Divine Providence. The second one is My Aunt Comedic Soulism. And if you read those books, you will get a whole full what a whole detail of information that will open your mind's eye. And you say, these people lied like that? Yeah, because the truth is what we are lacking about these people who have distorted the truth, who have us buying into their fallacy. So we cannot do that. What Imam Akbar was saying, let me see what he was saying. As we announced the new Black Panther for self-defense went to Piedmont Park in Atlanta, organized, took it to the Atlantic Police, Hollis. We are organized against all forms of police brutality, tyranny, and oppression. I seen y'all down the path. What was that? Not it was Nat Turner's, right? On that path, it was the other day, and you got that. If y'all not on my page, he got a blog talk radio. What is it? blogtalkradio.com, freedom, or what is that? Death? Yeah, freedom or death. It was April the 9th on police brutality, excessive force, and abuse of the Black people. Assalamu alaikum, brother Imam Akbar. Stay strong, brother. Keep the march up. You know, we got to do that because if we don't, we won't get the truth of what's going on in this country. This criminal enterprise, this called states that they say are what democracy and government. It's like fraudulent laws that hold everything intact. And while we be under attack as a people that are black, I'm saying, like, if y'all don't know, they lynching us around the country in 2019. They murdering us, talking about the stand your ground law that they say like 200 and almost 300 of our people have died from that, but they ain't saying nothing about that. So what do? They're talking about they want to take the guns because black on crime. I mean, black on black crime, right? But when they commit murder or crime, and the law is with them because the law is fraudulent and they got the law to cover and back them, talking about stand your ground law. If you stand in your ground and somebody walking down the street with their back to you and you shoot them in the back, and how is that you feel fear, something like that? Not only did they do it, but the police did it too. We seen one time where it was a spurt of police murders. People be running from them to get shot 16 times, and they call it justified. See, that's why we gotta, come together in a unified effort, and so we can stay alive. It ain't, it's a reality that we must realize what we got to do in order to establish. We must establish our own ground rules once again. We must develop Black Wall Street once again. That's a modern day concept. We got to do that, but it's based on the Ma'at laws and divine laws of who we are from a long time ago, and we had that established in ancient Kemet, in the Sudan, and in Turtle Island. We had an organized effort of truth, peace, and equality, harmony, until we allowed these people to come and distort it, and we brought into it, just like with the Greek fraternities and all that. How can we say we in a Greek fraternity when they came and learned from us? You see, what they learned from us is everything that they teaching us back. We regurgitating our own knowledge. But the thing about it, we must stop it. We must not get caught up into the language, the practice of their unholy days or anything in the religion. We must stop it. And we must go black into our inner self, in our temples, in our universe, and understand that we must develop that knowledge from the universe so that we can have a profound effect upon the universe, where these people control all the laws and this and stuff worldwide because they are connected and they're alive. I don't care. It seems like the Russians against the Americans and the Japanese against the Chinese, but what are they doing? They're going in Africa. They're taking the land from the people, and this will get me. We got South Africans, right, that are attacking other Africans from other parts of the continent to come there to, get a job, open a business, and all that, and they attack them for that. But they won't say nothing or attack the Afrikaners that own all the diamond and gold mines, that it is on the land of the African mine, but they don't say nothing because it's not in their mind, but they let them control the mine where all this wealth is at. But the wealth should come from your mind and unify as a people. See, Mandela and all them, they ain't do nothing. A brother said, South Africans became free to do absolutely nothing, and I can see that. We got to do everything. We got to maintain and what is? He wrote something else. I got to get back to here. He said in Atlanta, especially in the Black community, as we appeal for your support, let's do things differently. So remember tonight, along with What's that? R.I.P. and in Black Power, Comrade Nipsey, let a comrade brother and L comrade sister know. Bring them with you to Black Power Radio. Make our Black women and our Black children proud of us as we proceed to take one giant step toward for the divine Black revolution. I mean, Ra. We record when you call on 646-478-4447, Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I mean, Ra. Well, that's from Brother Humam Abdulmalik of the New Black Panther Party for self-defense. I mean, cool when they represent. But see, I'm from the old school with the original Black Panthers and that perspective. You know, that's where I'm at. But I'm with all my people, Black people around the globe, that we do got to unify. But we got to be real, you know, because we can't let those people, agent provocateurs and Negropeans, infiltrate our organizations and get our warrior kings killed or assassinated. You know, we can't do that no more. We cannot allow that no more. Nowhere on the planet, you know, nowhere on the planet can we do that and allow that. Man, what else going on in the world today? We dealt with in DC the go-go sound, where we, you know, didn't let them take the music from the store that was playing it. That was a great thing. Now we got to deal with gentrification on the same level. How you unify for our drum beat. The drum beat tells us we got to unify on all levels in the street. And the nation and the world, the whole globe is our destination. We got to know that, accept that, and be that as divine spiritual beings here on this planet. In our temple, we must worship the creator that's in us so that we can be in alignment with the energy that's all prevailing now in this day and time. We in the age of Aquarius, and the energy is sublime, is divine. I mean, and the planets in alignment with each other, and our chakra centers is, you know, activated, and Kundalini is activated, and should our pineal gland be activated by the melanin gland, so we can see with the third eye, and we can see the truth and not the lie. We can see all of it, but we got to be in the alignment with all warriors and divine beings, spiritual applications of helping build this nation, just like the sister Nipsey Hussle's mother. She touched my heart when she gave libations and talked about the spirituality and talked about our ancestor, that he's an ancestor now. That was strong, man, for a mother to demonstrate that. You know, his whole family was in a great demonstration of, you know, the liberation and for the liberation of our people doing the things that they done. So it ain't all about fun, but, you know, it's about it's about development. It's about, you know, not giving away the gun, but we can't be using it against each other like we're playing Russian roulette with a full loaded gun. Because if it be a war or something like that, we got to defend ourselves. We can't be defenseless. So that's what the thing or the plan may be. Because if one group always have all the guns, we don't stand a chance because we can't defend ourselves. We should have guns, but they should be put up for defense. And then, I was reading this Constitution, it says outright to have a gun, you know. Then it also is talking about the 13th Amendment, where you can become a slave if you are duly convicted of a crime. So we got to purify our temples and purify our mind and be righteous, folks. Once again, we can't like sell their drugs that they put in our community. We can't not use their guns that they put in our community against ourselves. We get the guns and put them up into the time that's right. So when they come in at night, they have a surprise if they try to knock our doors and implement those type of laws. I don't know where it's headed. Could be I used to say it's a police state, anarchy, or race war. But I don't think it would be a race war because it's, you got the militia that's against this criminal enterprise. Even though they patriotic and all that, but they see that the system is not patriotic along with them. They see that though the system is based on criminality, and that's the real reality. Especially against us, we don't stand a chance if we don't do what we're supposed to do and dance the dance of unification in our own way of building this nation of blackness and divine action and spiritual elevation from our ancestors to our little babies and black seeds that keep on growing. And that's what we got to do. We got to protect our seeds and we got to protect our elders. That's why we need our young warriors to come off this and out of this social engineering so they can be predators and thugs and all that because that's where they be programmed in the music they listen to and the food they eat and the fluoride that they brush their teeth with and the water that they drink. See, all these weapons being used against us. And we got to trust in each other worldwide and strive for our recognition as true black peoples and controllers of this earth. I don't care if you say you're Muslim and you're the Khalifa, or you can say you are a Christian and you I never heard them say how they deal with that situation of being in control of the world. But everybody who has that black pearl, that unique black pearl that unfurls in your mind state and how we don't have to debate against each other. We just rise up in our spirituality and make it our reality for all to practice in the oneness of divine essence and spiritual essence on the pathway of our ancestors. And we don't have no other choice in the matter. So, what do? We come together on every avenue, and we be strong in our disposition, our atonement for each other, what we have done. And we don't deal with agent provocateurs and Negro pens. They're on the other side of the fence with our natural enemies. We got to stay strong and we got to be aware. We got to not no more let them sneak among us or be among us. If we know them, we should expose them for who they are. And they gotta get out of here. They gotta get over there with our natural enemies, man, because you can't straddle the fence. Only our young brothers who through social engineering, we can save them because see, they've been socialized through social engineering to become predators and dislike themselves and all that because the energy that they're getting from the frequencies of what they listen to and this and that got them doing that. But the Negro pens, they sell their soul by choice, and so do agent provocateurs. So we don't want them amongst us, but we want to save our youth because the youth are like our warriors and guardians and protectors in our neighborhoods across the world, not only here in our community, in Washington, New York, Delaware, California, or wherever we at as a people. We must use our young warriors to come to unify so we can move forward and we don't have to keep dying from our own hand because they doing enough of it, doing it slick, and see, we get all comfortable with them and go to their parties and all that and they get us drunk, especially our women and some of our men. Then they get them drunk and then next thing you know, either beaten to death or lynched or something. So we can't do that. We got to be amongst ourselves and deal with our greatness and spirituality and knowledge of who we are and develop our Black Wall Streets and infrastructure. That's what we need to do. That's what we got to do. That's what we are doing in the spiritual and divine way, based on the calculation and the annals of our ancestors all of their books and everything they told us to do. They say, know thyself. So you got to look into yourself and understand yourself and everything, the divine essence about yourself and the divine spiritual blessings about yourself, so we can elevate ourselves as a holistic group of people that's going back, going black to where we came from at first. That's a fact. Yeah, we're going to do that. We don't have a choice in the matter. So, with that being said, you know that we have to do the hashtag Black People's Comedic Boycott Ham. We're doing that against all racism around the globe. We have to do that to let each of us know with soul what's going on, what are we doing, how we boycotting. We can't be scared. We got to make those that are mentally dead and their counterparts who are like vampire trillionaires and werewolves. We got to put them on notice that we ain't going for nothing else no more. We are developing our homes, we're developing our, and we're mobilizing. So that's what we got to be doing. We got to realize what we're doing so we can do it. And we just can't, like, make it known all the things that we're doing, because they'll try to counter it, but we're going to counter their moves, because they are the ones with fake news and propaganda and all that. But we ain't dealing with that, because we got the truth on our side. We got the truth we working with, where the truth abides. And that's how we dealing with it. We don't have a choice in the matter. I don't even want a choice in the matter, because I have sold my soul to the Creator and my ancestors. And when my soul was chosen and the spirit was chosen and the energy enveloped me, so I can only be divinely and spiritually free to accept my mission, to be one of those emissaries that keep moving forward. And the more I keep moving forward into my temple, I get more information from my ancestors and the Creator. Every time I astral travel or anything like that, I don't know where I go or where I come from, but I know it's light years away, because thought and light moves at 186,000 miles per second. I can go anywhere and get back like that. So what I do, I try to build myself in my eating habits, my thinking habits, my reading habits, all my personal habits to be about growth and development in a divine spiritual way. I ain't got time to play. I mean, I do like dancing because I give libations to my ancestors with my sweat. When I hear the drum beat from Brother Yao, Bellamy, and the rest of the crew, man, ain't nothing I can do, but I'm through, because I'm listening to what my ancestor had to say in the silence of the drum beat. And that's how it is with me. That's how it is with us. Because I trust in my Creator and I trust in my ancestors, from George Jackson, Nat Turner, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Asar Set and Hero, Francis Cress Wilson, Queen Azinga, Queen Amina, everybody from Shirley Chisholm, everybody with a Black identity that's not going to sell us out or haven't sold us out, but move forward. We ain't had to worry about no agent provocateurs or no Europeans. And those few names that I call, all of them were strong. And see, that's what we got to be. We got to be strong, and we got to be willing to carry on the struggle of our people from millennia ago, since they first came and studied at our feet, and then took all our occult sciences and turn them against us. Now they got occult circles where they take out and kidnap our people for body parts, sex rings, blood sacrifices, and all that. But they don't say nothing about that. They just overlook it and ride with it. And so that's what we must overcome. So in the other aspect of hashtag Black People's Comedic Boycott, HAM, is that we must do the same hashtag, but this is in the field of us coming together as Black on Black, pooling our resources and entrepreneurship. We got to do that in order to rise up. We got to be unified on every level, in every way, financial, spiritually, agriculturally, every academic, everything. We got to change the whole perception of the world. The only way that we can take it back to that unique black pearl. I hope y'all listen to me and understanding me. I mean, not understanding or overstanding, but understanding, because when it comes from within, from your heart and your mind and your conscious and your subconscious, and all that is merging in the divine way, then you can hear it more better. Because sometimes it'd be like silent information. It'd be like, what do you say? Or not only me, but when you go to sleep or when you wake up or when you dealing with your ancestors, you be like, did I hear that right? Yeah, you heard it right. We got to show our might. We got to show our purpose, because it is what it is in 2019, when they be lynching us and killing us, and they got this stand your ground law, and people be walking away and they still get shot, and they say they was fearful for their life. See, they give them their opportunity to have their gun. They ain't talking about taking their gun. They're allowing them to use their gun against us. So we got to wake up. We got to look. We got to look with a divine eye in this physical world, but we got to be strong. We got to deal with the red, black, and green, and give our allegiance to that, to the flag, to represent who we are. We got to do it in respect of Marcus Garvey, strong brothers, Edward Cleaver, Harry P. Newton, all these strong brothers, because they the one who led us, to be strong, the beacons for defense. All these brothers, man. What is his name? John Horse of the Seminoles. They don't want us to know nothing about that history or that story. Know that they didn't never go for slavery, and they fought against Andrew Jackson, and he had to surrender the army people he had and all that. But he chased John Horse, and the Seminoles chased him all the way out of Florida. Because when they came in Florida and they got into that swamp water, they got lost. Couldn't even touch them at night or daytime, because they knew how the land was and how the land was in their favor, because they deal with it in a guerrilla type of way. Even when they went down the rabbit hole, they came back up and they couldn't see a thing. So the same thing that they done, we got to do. Living our lives like we're dumb and stuff like that. We got to be in an intelligent mood, in a great mood, a mood of greatness. We got to be in a mood of understanding, so that we can come together and be demanding upon this system that is crooked. It's crooked. It's always been crooked and fraudulent, and all the laws are that way. But we must overcome them and establish our own in Black Wall Street and the infrastructure, because they stole everything. They even stole the Constitution. They did it from the 500 tribes, which was us. And that's the reality, That's the reality. And they say, how you know all this stuff or something like that? I can say because I studied, I researched, and then I read a lot, and then a lot was given to me by elders and ancestors and the Creator. What can I say? I know what I'm saying is the truth, and I don't have, to prove myself to anybody. But the proof is in my walk and my talk and everything like that, and in my spiritual context and in the divine essence, that I get my blessings from the Creator and my ancestors that's within my temple. And you have to purify your temple. You just can't reach levels of divine purification and spiritual elevation unless you purify your temple, where the Creator is. It's plain and simple, because this is the temple. Within the temple is where you go to worship the Creator. And you got everything that's related to everything on the outside you have on the inside, everything. You got the mind where the gold and diamonds is in your mind. You got the conscious sky, and and all that. and the subconscious. You know, it goes deeper into the universe, you know, and all that. You got to relate it to everything because it's just plain and simple, just like that, so that you can verify if you don't believe the lie. You got to deal with the truth and the spirituality, the divine essence that's in your blessing and is in our temple, and we got to realize that as a people. You know. Okay, I talked about uh, hashtag Black People's Comedic Boycott Ham. I talked about that both ways. We boycotting the races, and then when we show the other side of the boycott, we come together as black entrepreneurs and pooling our resources so that we can control what we listen to and what we look at. All we gotta do is pool our resources. All we have to do. You know who I'm talking to. People that don't want to do it though, because they got their sponsorship and all that, but they billionaires. You know, they billionaires, but they living a lifestyle that, of the rich and the wild. And all the while, our people are dying, you know, dying, dying out. A lot of times from our own hands, but a lot of times from the enemy's hand, the lynching and police killing and the stand your ground law and all that get in the opportunity to kill us legally. And we don't do nothing about it. So with that, I want to say this, that we have to deal with April. April is the month of what? Medical, mental emancipation of the medical, mental slavery nation. And who do we deal with that? We come on Inner Light Radio with Sister Karen, Khadijah Abdulmalik, Davis Folk, and that's every Wednesday from 4 to 5. And she fortifies our information about dealing with this pharmaceutical way of life that the medical industrial complex have to mentally enslave us about all the pharmaceuticals that they sell to us. And they talk about bringing us good health, but it kills us at the same time. And so our sister gives us an alternative to how to use our mind, how to be divine and spiritual at the same time in dealing with this enemy of life. And on her Tubman Freedom Ride, she will give you information that will keep you alive. And then also in April the 30th is celebrating celebration of mental emancipation of our whole beloved Black nation. And we gonna come together and have a panel the sisters gonna put together, and that's from like 3 to 5. And I'm a host on these Wednesday shows. I do poetry now because I was doing my Blackanized report. But this being Poetry Month, I'm doing poetry now as a co-host on her show. And a light radio, the frequency is so high, I tell you, no lie. And dealing with the Emancipation Proclamation of freedom of this pharmaceutical enslavement. All they want is the money, is the medical industrial complex that will take you out of your freedom mode, so you won't get on that freedom train of the Harriet Tubman ride. I ain't lying. I'm a satisfied, used to be, person that may be in captivity mentally about that whole medical enslavement. But now I become a natural, brave one who will deal with the essence of the blessings of the knowledge of this sister and what she gave me, and said that you're your own medical doctor. So I said, okay, I ain't got no problem with that. So I developed what I developed that I think best fit me. But there's always another key that you got to open up and get minerals and stuff like that. So that's the other thing that's happening in this month. So join us on April the 30th. That's from 3 to 5 as our sister deals with 9 years of emancipation of the medical mental slavery. And she's going to have panel people speaking, and I may be one because I went through the process of becoming strong in that area. And I trust in her because of the information she gave me. And so I be mentally free. So that's what I do. So I can see and feel, the reality of the way I choose to be when it comes to medical. Uh, I say medical assassination. That's what they be doing, trying to kill us off any way they can. You know, like from the chemtrails to the water, lead, and fluoride in the water, uh, GMO foods, and all that. All this is part of the silent war that they are instituting against us because their lifeline is growing short. Their death rate is greater than their birth rate. As our black seeds keep on growing, I say, Amen. I say. And so, also, what can I say? I said everything I need to say on different subject matters today. I want to say now there's time for a couple of poetry readings, of my original poetry. So I think I read some of these things before. Chukabinaka. Yeah. I like reading stuff that will, grab you. It's cool. Huh? Let's say it's cool, but it's cool. Okay, where I'm gonna go? I'm gonna do this. It's kind of long, this one here, but I think it'll be all right for us to share with you this day. Uh, Let me see. I'm gonna try to find another. No, I might just do that one. I could do two long ones. No, I'll wait for that one also. I just think I'm gonna do this, so I gotta get ready to go and do some things around the house and in the house, and then get to the street to hear that drum beat. You know what I mean? From my ancestors, I be listening for it. I'm gonna go here. I should do that, but I'm gonna just say here. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna say, but it's cool, It, it it was just, I say it was like, but it is cool because just, I mean, is it just? We will just begin with our saw set in Hebrew because you thought we didn't know, but it's cool. Like the Hyssopes, Greeks, and Romans that stole from our schools and burned our libraries to make it look like we were fools. But it's cool. When did we rule? When we did rule, no one had a clue to how or why we built pyramids that were in alignment with the constellation of the stars. And we had pyramids on the moon plus Mars. But it's cool. As we lost our rule in Kemet, we still had Timbuktu, Mela, and Dungo empires. Federations all were Nubian nations, but it's cool when the Moors gave Spain civilization because they were in the Dark Ages as a nation. But it's cool. Then El Cid and the Knight Templars of Solomon got together and said, let's rid Spain of the Moors, but we will keep what they did and give it to the Vatican. Tell the Pope, keep it hid. But it's cool. And after the Inquisitions, the Jews and the Pope got together and said, let's go on a Christian mission. He said the black heathens who are cursed, but it's cool. What made it worse than the Jews said, let's sell them. They have no soul. And the Pope gave the decree that they will no longer be free. But it's cool. So they went into Akabu land with the Bible in hand and said, here, this white man here is your savior. who died for your sins. And he spoke and had a hyena's grin as he gave them rum and gin, and that's when the madness began. But it's cool. He took the Bible back and pulled the gun and ransacked the village, killed the warriors and the priests and other villagers that was on a run. Asked, when will this madness cease? But it's cool. Your Savior will call, who we will call Jesus, the name of this boat that will take you to the new season and take all your reason. It's cool. As Jesus left dock, they treated us like we were livestock, chained to each other no matter the pain it brought. But it's cool. Our captors laughed at us and said, look at that fool, as one by one someone would jump into the pool of the Atlantic Ocean with the belief they could reach the shores of home once again. But it's cool. On Jesus, you could hear the crack of the whip and the moan of the cries of those that stayed alive from the fierce attack of the soulless men who raped men, women, and child, and even killed the fetus of pregnant mothers by stomping it to death after cutting it from her stomach. That's how vile they were. But it's cool. The warriors on board Jesus, Saul and Matthew, couldn't communicate, but they knew they had to survive in order. They had to go on this ride in order to survive this perilous ride. But it's cool. The drum said yes. The drum was the universal language amongst all tongues of Akabu land. So as the soulless men looked and laughed at the priest beat the wood as though it was a drum, and the warriors did their war dance and the dance of death as though they wasn't anything left but freedom or the last breath. But it's cool. As Saul burned to the ocean floor, Matthew headed back to Akabu land. Sure, but Jesus got away. The soulless men were scared to death of the fierce attack. And so they called slaves and astounded and dumbfounded as the last warrior stood there so brave as he said, I am the last of the mystic priests. And Griot, this story must be told as he unfolds some dust from his hand and they rushed him, and in the cloud of smoke he was gone. But it's cool. As Jesus passed, other ships with human cargoes stalked upon each other like animals as they stopped at dock after dock. Haiti, West Indies, the coast of South America, where the host was treated with the most inhumane, insane, degrading actions. You could call name, but it's cool. Culture, language, spiritually forced or taken away by the torture, rape, castration, mutilation, and placed with a religion and a white God. But it's cool. Orientation on the slave plantation and breeding and breaking this untaking went on up until Emancipation Proclamation in this beloved Christian nation. But it's cool. Freedom was supposed to be free. Then they started to lynch us because they didn't give us the 40 acres and a mule. But it's cool. But to add fuel to the fire, who is their God which we trust, and still they did whatever they desire according to the law that was conspired to be applied to them. But again, the law, they lied. Natural law is universal, but it's cool. Their law was made to be broke, changed, and rearranged, applied, denied, because they hide behind the Constitution was supposed to protect all men. Oh, I forgot. 3/5 of a human being law that's still on the book. But it's cool. They even had the black law, the voter registration law, all while the Ku Klux Klan didn't have a flaw in their night raids and their parades and sheets. But it's cool, even in segregation, because they wanted to alienate their white race from the black face. So we built townships with a sound economical base. But what they did, they could not. What they did, they do, but dropped a bomb on the place. But it's cool. It was law against us to learn to read, separate, but equal though according to their law. But it's cool. Or don't forget the Dred Scott law that the black man has no right, that the white man has to respect. But it's cool. Then they allowed integration to better the racial relations. But it's all manipulation, because then some went through immolation of the white man like the Brule and the Talented and all those that sold their soul, who was under robot control. But it's cool. Not only that fact, it was we become indoctrinated, educated fool to be fooled in his pool of deception and hypocrisy in his so-called democracy. But it's cool as another skull and bone member is selected to carry the emblem of the Masonic Illuminati seal of their approval and policies being made to enslave another 3/5 of the world population. Because the politricksers are politically correct. Because you can't detect the falsehood in their speeches of deception. But it's cool as another law is passed to keep the Federal Reserve and the international bankers to be in another country's financial matters as they steal all their natural resources. And of course, the Internal Revenue Service exploit us domestically so we can't see behind the veil of hypocrisy. But it's cool. What are we going to do as they plot and plan to annihilate all nature and man? We must stand up as the original man and turn up the frequency, vibration, and energy. So we can see with the third eye, celestial, universal, divine arsenal that will be used like the force of the black. It will only affect those with no soul. But it's cool. You know, it's cool because we had to go to and develop our own school. If we don't, we'll be under the rule of these fools that don't have no respect for life. Only what they want to control as vampire and werewolves. Because they don't say nothing about all the missing people that they're taking for body parts and blood sacrifices and sex orgies and all that type of stuff. Just like this holiday getting ready to come up, you call it Easter, but it's about Istar. And Istar was the star that came together and had orgies in the woods when they came to this day. It was like the spring solstice too, because it's a couple of weeks or maybe a month away or after that. But we got to be aware and don't practice those forbidden holidays. They're unholy. So we got to get into our own holidays and be who we supposed to be, that we got to be. I'm just talking from a standpoint of being mentally free. So with that, I ain't gonna hold us up because I ain't got no gun to do that no way. But y'all have a blessed day. And so I already said about the principles of Ma'at that we got to practice. I mean, the principles, yes, of Ma'at we got to practice, and the matriarchic essence of our women around the globe. And then we got to practice those principles of Kwanzaa, each and every one, each and every day, throughout eternity. And we got to get more, you know. And so that's what we got to do as Black people and Moors and Yoruba house, you know, even over here in the streets of DC, New York, and California. And I say this from the bottom of my heart and the top of my mind. We got to stay divine and spiritual on a ascendancy and not on a decline. But we got to come together in one mind and come together in dealing with this issue and during this time. We have to come together and deal with an infrastructure and deal with Black Wall Street once again. And we can do that because we're divine people. We can do it just like that. And so with that, I want to give a roll call about who's been on here, you know, so it's respect, out of respect. The first one that came on today was Yolanda Fields, our ANC member, a single member district of Ward 8. She's supposed to be telling me something, but I'll call her to get that information straight. Then we got Emoji Hotep Ra. Then we got DC Loyalty Over Money. That's my big uncle. Then we got William, Nelvin Williams. I hope I ain't cutting up your name, but let me see if I can get it right. It's Neville Leon, like a Neville Lion Williams, but we call him Nevlin. That's it, Nevlin Williams. I'll go back with him sometime. We got Range Eric. We got Marcelo D. Pisa. We got Imam Akbar. We got who else in here? This is a shining star. We got Frank Davis III. We got Tony MacArthur. We got Latif Jawara. And we got Teresa Proctor. Amen. That's divine love back at you. Y'all be blessed. Stay in power. It's our hour. It's our time. It's our day. As we just continue to build upon the unification, no matter what they do with their agent provocateurs and their Negro pens and their slaves too. We got to just stay strong and build upon everything that was given to us and the trust of our ancestors and our brothers, the warriors, that somebody is taking their life. But the brother's mother, man, Nipsey Hussle's mother, she gave it up. She said, this is libations to the ancestors and for my son. And he's still here all around. His spirit is up and down. That man touched my heart. It shows that her spirituality is significant in his growth and development that got him where he was and where he is now. So with that, I want to say Salaam Alaikum, Hotep Ashe, Ubante, Alafia, my brothers and sisters. And in this day and every day, we just got to keep moving forward. And just give up that love of peace and power. No, I can't even do that. Man, I don't know what the heck when you be trying to do that stuff. But it's all right, man. I'm going to leave it alone. Anyway, I like that because I be thinking I'm on this side. Oh, there you go, right there. I cannot. It ain't nothing, no way. Just want to be presentable. I got a lot of white hair, So some of it be growing out my nose and I be thinking it ain't that. But anyway, I want to say, I want to say the peace, and black power and black love. You see, I got my Dr. Strange shirt on that I want to be able to go through, rims and dimensions and come back and tell you what I didn't mention before. But y'all have a blessed day, and I got to go. Really ain't got to go, but I can't keep talking, because sometimes you got to just reflect on what you heard, what you said, So what I say, I hear also. It ain't going on just a one-way street, and I want us to know that I don't think I'm no better than you. I just want you to know who I am as an emissary of my Lord on a mission to change the conditions. Peace, love, and power, black power. Y'all have a blessed day every day in our black history, making history every day. Be blessed. Amen. Ashe Ubanti. Sokamena ke no leko liso, biko leko sikalo, sigomayi olemo. Love y'all, man, and women. To life, yes.